And you also start working in the sales and marketing space. And then only for you to end up in the construction industry. Like, how does that work? You started in PR, you did a bit of marketing, you worked in marketing, and then you end up in construction. Ganjan, make it make sense. And that's exactly what our next speaker is about to do for us this afternoon. So Thandeka Nombanjinj-Nzama is the founder of a construction company called Mbokodo Building Pty Ltd. Like, just the company name. Hey, just the company name tells you that this is a woman who is serious about making her name known, who is serious about taking up space, and who is serious about building women. So she was inspired by her late father, Mr. Thandeka Nombanjinji, who is a late property developer in Johannesburg. And today she's going to inspire us because she's a woman in business, she's in construction, and she's making big deals. She's making it rain in the construction space. So without taking up too much of her spotlight, Sisi, please come and tell us how to do this business thing. Let's welcome her with a warm round of applause.
Thank you very much. Yes, please. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I won't even say, I'm quite a shy person, believe it or not, but yeah. We have to get out of, sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zones and just stretch ourselves as people. Matlodi, thank you so much for the intro. My name is Thandeka Nombanjinj-Nzama. I'm the managing director of Mbokodo Building. We are CIDB grade 7 GB and 7 CE construction company. Whose core focus is on female empowerment within the built industry. Our main aim was to minimize the gender gaps and ensure that females form part of an equitable and inclusive part of the construction sector. My journey is not your typical one because I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. My late father was a property developer and my mom was a businesswoman. Growing up in the Soweto Township, on weekends or school holidays, when our friends would, get to go play and, with other kids and get to live as kids, we were forced to go to the family businesses, At the time, we really hated my father for that, but now that I'm older, I see the benefits of such. And the biggest lessons that came from that is that with our generation, we need to learn that whatever we do, we need to think about generational legacies. We cannot be building businesses or building, organizations only for them to die once, you're no longer there. We need to think about long term. I've realized that most of the times, us as entrepreneurs, when we become short-sighted when we do things. You just want to do things for now and just get it over and done with. But you're not thinking about long-term. Even if you do not have kids, W dealership in South Africa. So to me, I felt to myself that, shoo, this is huge. For this to happen in our lifetime, I actually want to be a part of this. I don't know how, but I want to be a part of this. So there I was on a Monday morning. I drove to the dealership. I did not know anyone there. I walked in. I went to the receptionist. I said, hi, I'm here to see. I remember I said, I'm here to see Triko. I did not know Triko. But I saw the pictures of the directors, and I was like, okay, this one seems like he's the most, kind one. You can tell from pictures that, okay, he seems like he's a bit easier than the other ones. He doesn't look too serious. So the receptionist said to me, okay, do you have an appointment? I said, yes, of course. I told a white lie, guys. But anyway, I sat at the reception area. I sat for quite a number of hours, waiting and waiting. And while I was sitting there, I saw there's a client that walked into the dealership. The client was walking around, not sure, like there wasn't anyone to assist them. And I went up to the client. I said, "Hi, sir, can I assist you? I can see that there's no one to assist you. Is there anything I can assist you with?" And he said to me, "Yes, I'm looking for a car, but there's no..." I said, "No, please, sir, can you just wait a bit? I'll get someone to assist you." I went to the receptionist. I said, "There's a person who's been roaming around. Can you please get someone to assist them?" And sure, they got the assistance. So I went back and I sat, and I thought to myself, I was so hungry that day. I was like, I'm not going anywhere until someone speaks to me here. Then while I was sitting at the coffee area, and then I see the lady who was making tea, doing her rounds, serving tea to everyone in the dealership. So I went to her, "Ma, can I please assist you? I can see Guti Ngati, you're struggling a bit here." And I assisted her. Already, in that morning, I had gone through the entire dealership, went to the parts department, went to the service department. I was assisting her. But like she didn't even know who I was, because I was this strange girl just roaming around the dealership. So at some point, when I went back to sit there, one of the MDs of the business, he came up to me. He said, "Sisi, I see you've been sitting here for quite a while. Are you okay? Have you been helped?" He actually thought I was a client that has been waiting for a driver to take me home. And I said, "Yes, sorry to disturb you, but I was waiting for you. I literally need 2 minutes of your time." And he's like, "Oh, you're waiting for me? You've got an appointment with me?" I said, "No, I don't. But, can I please just be brief and explain myself? I'm a student, I'm studying PR, I'm about to finish my studies, and I'd like to be an intern here at your company." And he said, "But we're not taking any interns, we don't have any stipends." And I said, "No, I'm not looking at being paid. I just want to be here and be part of this history, because I read about you guys, and even if it means I clean your offices or whatever, I just want to work here. It does not matter what I do." And he said, "That's very strange, it's the first time I hear a student saying that they're not willing to be paid." And I said, "No, I really don't need to be paid. I just need to learn from amazing people like you." And he was quite impressed. He said, "You know what, I've never heard this before, because all the time we literally get students that come here and they get turned off when we tell them that we don't have the stipends for them." And while I was sitting there, one of the drivers actually came, and he was like, he's got a problem, because there was a vehicle that they needed to fetch at the plant for one of the clients who was coming to fetch the car later that day. So the driver didn't have anyone to take him to the plant. And I said, "I'm here, I've got a license, I can take you there." And and now the guy was like, "Geez, what don't you do when," And he was like, "Okay, go, if you don't mind. Are you sure? Are you going to take the driver?" I said, "Yes, I don't mind." I took the driver. Then when I came back later, he said, "Come back tomorrow. I don't know what you're going to do here, but you impressed me, because I can see you really want this so badly." The next morning, early in the morning, I was there, And when I got to the dealership, they were like, "No, we don't know what you're going to do." And I created opportunities for myself, because even when I got to the dealership, I was like, "You know what, I'm not going to wait to be told, do this, do that." When I saw that there was a problem somewhere, I created, an opportunity for myself. Because when clients came in the morning, it would be flooded with clients when they brought their cars to the dealership in the morning. So I would be there to welcome the clients and help with the paperwork, just to sign them in and all of that. And, from there on, I found myself being cleaning the boss's offices, to being a runner, going to buy people's lunches, to the point where I was like one of those jack of all trades in the dealership. So I made sure that, I create, I make myself a valuable asset without them realizing. To the point where, all of them were like, okay, when there was no one to do certain things, they were like, "Okay, Thandeka, can you just quickly run and do that?" I was a runner, basically, doing everything. Even the unglamorous work, I was doing it. I was there. I was like, you know what, I don't have a title. I'll do everything it takes to work here. So fast forward, they took me to the sales cadet program where I had to undergo training to be a sales executive for BMW. Let alone, at that point, you know, my dad was not happy with me because he felt like, you know, I've created businesses, and when you're going to work for other people, why not coming, you know, to work for the family business? And I felt that, you know what, as an individual, if you want to learn, you really need to go out there and learn how things are done, you know, outside. And I felt that that was very beneficial because even when my dad was no longer around, I was able to handle his businesses because I was exposed to the outside world. And I made sure that I'm an independent person and I don't depend on the family businesses. Fast forward years later, you know, because my dad was a property developer and I used to go around with him, you know, as a young girl. And I used to see him, you know, getting a piece of land from it being nothing and seeing him build it up to being an incredible structure. And, you know, when you're a young girl, that is like, it looks like magic. It's like, wow, you know, like for me to see this with my own two eyes, you know, growing into this amazing building. Then I decided that I'll open up a construction company because that was one passion that, you know, I've always had. So I opened up a construction company. It was very difficult, extremely difficult. Like, you know, being a woman in construction, the level of patriarchy is it's insane. So, you know, trying to knock on doors, being told no, no, who do you think you are? Are you even gonna be able to do this, you know? And I told myself that, you know what, I'm not gonna give up. I'll be relentless in making sure that, you know, I make this happen. So yes, you know, the construction company gained trajectory a bit, you know, as time went on. And I told myself that, you know what, one day when I make it, not if I make it, when I make it, I will make sure that I am so unapologetic in making sure that females are included in this sector, whether they like it or not. And I was so intentional to the point that if you can see our PPE, it's pink. Like we're there with pink hard hats, we are there with pink PPE. When we're on site, they're thinking, ooh, who are these people with their pink things? And we don't care. But you know what, when we leave that site, the level of quality of our work, it speaks volumes. That speaks for us, you know? And I felt that, you know, with creating Mbokodo Building, it was not just for me. It was for the females that are coming after me. Because, you know, when you reach a certain level in life, we tend to forget where we come from. We tend to shut away other people that are trying to get opportunities. So I was like, you know, with my company, the model should be in a way where we are including females and we try and empower them. You know, I felt that I don't want to see other females struggling like how I did. If I'm there, why not create opportunities for them? You know, there's nothing wrong. It does not take anything away from you as a person to create opportunities for others. And, you know, in our sector, you know, I must say we've really caused a big stir because everywhere we go, we are known because we've been very intentional about that. You know, I don't know how many times I've been told that when you crazy, do you think women can build? You guys, you know, you're wasting your time. And we've proven ourselves over and over again that women can build. We have so many females that are like highly qualified, but they don't get opportunities simply because of their gender. And, you know, so with every business structure that you create, always don't think about yourself only. Think about what value can I add to others, you know, to other people. And Mahlodi has given me 5 minutes. I went through, there's life lessons that I've learned throughout in business that I just quickly jotted down. I'll be quick. First one, opportunity meets preparation. If I did not take that opportunity and prepare myself back then at BMW, I wasn't gonna get into that company. So do whatever it takes to make sure that, you have to get out of your shell. I'm a very shy person, believe it or not. But I told myself that I have to, really get out of my comfort zone and make sure that I put myself in places that I normally wouldn't be able to go into. Be prudent with your finances. That is very important. Me now, Thandeka, you know what? I earn a salary from all of my businesses. Like every month. I live within the means of what I earn. I do not, your business and your personal life are two separate entities. Do not swipe your business card, ebumnandini. No. Live within your means and make sure that you earn for what you've brought in. If you didn't make sales that month, unfortunately, your salary can't be as high as, as every other month. So be diligent with your finances and make sure that, you separate the entities. You are a separate entity as an individual, and your business is a separate entity. Failure is part of the process. At some point, I opened up a salon because it was trending and my friend was selling a salon. But honestly, I did not have the passion for that. I did it because, okay, it's a business, let's see, it's gonna work out. No, I did not have the passion for that, and it did not work out. It failed dismally, because first of all, I did not have the time to be there, and one of the, salon is one of those businesses that need you to basically babysit that business. So it did not work out. So failure is part of the process, and you learn as you go along. And networking, they're always saying that, your network determines your net worth. Always make sure that you put yourself, in alongside people that have gone, that route before you. Make sure that you learn from those that have walked the path before you. And then you must shut out the noise, because with every level of success, there's more noise. There's gonna be people telling you, no, this thing won't work. They'll give you every reason for you to doubt yourself. Never doubt yourself. Once you've got a vision, go with it and don't listen to anyone else. Don't let anyone deter you from that. Giving up is not an option. There will be those bad days, like obviously on Instagram, I get posted with, oh guys, what I had to go through, We all look good, we look like we're thriving. But no one is immune to problems. So never give up when you're in business. Know that there are gonna be times where you don't even know where your salary is gonna come from. But make it happen. That's why it's important to follow your passion, because you must have something that will make you wake up every day and go for it, no matter how hard it gets. I mean, I would sit for months and months without projects and not know where, my next pay is gonna come from. But you make things happen, never ever give up. And then do things for yourself and not other people. Never be embarrassed to adjust your lifestyle when things are not going great. Like, don't force, no, because you want to look a certain way, you're doing it for people. No, that's not gonna help you. That's not gonna pay your bread. COVID really hit all of the entrepreneurs so badly, and you need to have forward thinking. But okay, you know what, things are no longer the same. I need to downgrade here. If you need to work from home, do that. Then to say, no, I'm gonna force and have those fancy offices and, because you want to have a certain image because of people. People are not gonna, make any difference in your life. And then generational legacy. As I've spoken about generational legacy, build your business and transfer skills in a way that it will survive way after you have long left the world. So make sure that you create something sustainable for generations to come. We don't want our families to suffer. We don't want, we need to break those generational curses of Guti, no, things were bad. No, our kids can't say that. They can't be singing the same song. You must build something sustainable and solid for them so that they can also grow that business to certain levels after you are long gone. And the final one, when you reach that top destination, pay it forward. Never ever forget where you come from. It does not take anything away from you to help the next person. Never ever feel that you've arrived in life. Always know that, as much as you suffer, don't make the next person suffer. Information that you have already, why not share it? Nothing, you lose nothing by, a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. And that's all, because I don't have much time.
Please stay.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, okay.
If there's one thing about Thandeka, it's her humility. This woman has achieved so much. She's a captain in her industry, and just her humility, the way she carries herself, the way she interacts with people. I don't know what it is, Siswam, but please keep it up. Just by how you show up, you encourage the next woman to believe that it's possible because you emulate that, and you create that open, safe environment for women to be who they are. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Does anyone have a question? Many questions, yes. All right, so if you're joining us online, please send your questions through. We're also going to be taking care of them. Let's get the sanitizer and get the questions rolling. So how many do we have? Yes. The whole day? No! All right, so I've noted you, I've noted 1, 2, so it's 4 so far. And she's drinking her water. Kubone mara. Aye. 5, okay.
Has to come to me. It's like, woohoo. Thank you. Hi, Thandeka.
Hi.
My name is Pepe, and I'm a quantity surveyor.
Ah.
I can tell you that you are causing quite a stir. The boardrooms that we sit in, we speak about you. You are literally dubbed the next Dr. T. That's how big you are becoming.
Thank you so
I am
much.
very, very grateful to have met you today, and this is why I literally came. Because I'm like, I have so many questions. As a woman, and as a black woman in a construction industry, how do we balance the disrespect that we get from especially men and especially white Afrikaans men? Because I'm a quantity surveyor and I pay you. I pay you. So if I tell you that this is the payment certificate I'm going to give you because I have done my evaluation on site, and then you come and degrade me based on my color and based on the gender, like how do I now start being professional? Because,
we go through a lot of that.
Yeah.
Hence, I was very intentional with what I did with Mbokodo.
yes.
It's so sad that, us as women, when we go to site, it's like we have to sort of psych ourselves up to say, you go on defense mode.
Every day.
You're in my car, I'm a lady, until I get on site, I'm like, okay, I'm always like, I can't wait for the day where we don't have to do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Can we be respected for the quality of work that we like, can we be respected for us as professionals and not be rated based on, our gender?
Yeah.
It's not a fair thing, because there was a time, what you're talking about, there was a time when we had a meeting with other contractors. And let alone, this contractor had a very big mouth, so we're deciding that, okay, who's gonna do what? And they're busy saying, they're taking all the scopes of work, by the way. And then they're like, okay, and the ladies can just clean the windows once we're done building.
Yeah.
And I was like, excuse me, what do you mean we will clean the windows?
Yeah, or do paving.
And exactly, they always want us to do the lousy work.
Yeah.
So I said, no, we are a grade 7, by the way. And he opened up, it's like, now, why do we have to keep on saying, I'm a grade 7 for people to actually take you seriously, you know? And that guy, that time he's got a big mouth and he's a grade 4.
Imagine.
And he's telling us that we will clean the windows. So I told him that, no, excuse me, I'm not going to do any of this work unless, you know, we get a proper scope of work. So we always have to fight. But we have to take that fight because we don't want generations that are coming. We don't want our kids to be scared of the industry. So we must make it a comfortable place for them. And they need to know that, you know what, it's okay. They need to know that, you know what, it's okay to see a brown-skinned woman making it in the construction sector. So we pray for a day the way we see so many females taking over the sector. Even with you as a quantity surveyor, wherever you are, you need to think about, you know, how do you create opportunities for other, you know, even if it's going to a school, talking to girls and letting them know that this is the possibility. You know, it's possible to be a black woman and be a quantity surveyor. There are such careers out there, you know. Yeah, so it's all about us making sure that we push that agenda, you know, for the generations that are coming after us. No, I can. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi, Sister Thandeka.
Hi.
I'm actually excited to meet you. Yeah, so I also have a lot of questions. We also in construction.
Oh.
We started 2019. We still new.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna speak about the discrimination and everything. We all know. I just wanna know, do you have mentorship programs with you? Because I heard that you giving information to women, because I feel like this industry needs you to be prepared and equipped. So I just want to know if there's any mentorship programs that you're running, and we would really love to be part of that. That's my question, thanks.
Okay. First of all, you need to follow the Mbokodo page.
We on
You
there.
do?
We
Okay.
every day, all day. Yeah.
We post all of the information there. So we've got the skills development program where we take ladies and upskill them, and then they get CETA accreditations, you know, at the end of the program. We've got, the thing is, you know, COVID really disturbed us with mentorship programs, but, you know, I'm always, like, I get so many DMs, but I try my best to get to every DM and respond, you know, as much as I can. You know, I'm always available, like my email address is also there on my page. I'm always available. Also, please make sure you get yourself registered on our database. Yeah, because when we procure, we specifically procure from female-owned entities. So we've got a database that has companies that are female-owned that we use as subcontractors, and there's many opportunities. We try. We're not huge, but we try and make sure that we create as many opportunities for ladies out there as much as we can. So, you know, just make sure that you registered, you're on the database, and send me a DM, please. Okay.
Okay, hi, Sister Thandeka, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. Okay, firstly, I want to say that I actually love you.
Thank you.
I got introduced to you on the business day, the article that you recently did.
Yes.
That's how I learned who you are, and then I just went on a rampage and just found out what you do. You probably don't watch TV, but there's a show called Ngobile on Zanzi Magic. It's about a black woman who basically tries to employ women into a business. When I saw Pink, that show also, the women wear pink.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah.
Like my daughter was watching it. I'm like, okay, this looks like Mbokodo.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Or the Uber drivers, ne?
Women drivers.
The women drivers,
yes.
Uber drivers. Okay,
Yeah,
yes, I
so
saw it. Yeah.
When I read about you, I just like, oh, I'm watching you on TV, just in a different industry. So that's probably the reason, part of why I love you. But in my line of work, when I think construction, we always think liability, risk, and so forth. So my question to you is, have you found that your liabilities and your costs, are they reduced because you are bringing women, or is it indifferent? Doesn't matter.
You know, I always say, we can't grow people by not training them. As much as it affects our business, right? Because when sometimes we're bringing people that are not skilled enough, like to be part of the projects, it's gonna, you know, our timelines are gonna be longer, you know, and we don't want that on site. But, you know, I always say, if we are not training them, who's gonna give them a chance? You know, I sometimes tell myself that, you know what, I'll take that chance, you know, on someone. If they're a hard worker, then I'm willing to take that chance on them. We'll give them like a smaller scope of work just for them to gain confidence on site. Because honestly, even when I started, you know, it was difficult to get opportunities. But, you know, I was blessed enough because, you know, when I spoke about your networks, you know, they determine your outcome. You know, I had friends that were already in the construction sector. And I left everything to go and be an intern there. I was already a CEO of the family business. But I was like, you know what, I want to learn this construction thing properly. I went and got my hands dirty. I was like, you know, I'll start from scratch if I need to do that. And I literally worked my way up. And the only way you'll really learn a lot in the industry is by physically doing something. Like, you know, now no one can tell me Guti foundation is okay when I can see from far and they know me on site. Oh, Lord. Like, you know, my project managers sometimes would be like, hey, boss, please don't come all the time. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm OCD as well. Because I'll be like, no, this thing is not, you know, properly aligned. It's not leveled and all of those things. So I did not study construction, but you learn by being there on site. So I feel that by us bringing women on site, even though maybe they're not working or, you know, they come and get, you know, upskilling, you know, by us creating that opportunity for them. So to what you said, it does affect the business, but it's all about, you know, having a bigger vision. Because honestly, I would love to see so many women-owned construction entities, you know?
Right. Hi, Sis Thandeka.
Hi.
And I'm also a big fan. I love you.
Thank you.
And appreciate your work. I think I also share the same sentiments as the other lady, that you are, to me, more like Dr. T. So I'm also in construction. I own a small company. And I think I'm actually short of words to appreciate the work that you do, paving for us and, you know, doing so much. The most awesome one is the pink PPE. For me, it hits the most. It's like the biggest statement that you can ever make, and especially that when you are in construction full of, it's male dominated. It's more like at all times you need to say, I'm female, but I can do this. And so my question to you is, with all of that, it's like you always have to sort of put up a fighting mode when you are in this platforms where it's full of males. Psychologically, emotionally, how do you balance all of that?
You know, it might sound very mediocre, but honestly, you know, how I center myself is through prayer, honestly. Like, I can't function without praying when I wake up. Like, God honestly directs my path. He's, you know, he's the one that really centers me as an individual. You know, there's days when I feel like, you know, I want to cry, like, like when it gets so difficult to the point where you feel like you want to give up. But when the minute I pray, honestly, like I feel some sense of, you know, calmness, and I bring myself back towards myself through prayer. So you know, whether you're religious or not, but I feel that honestly with prayer, everything gets easier. I hope I've answered your question.
Sawubona Sis Thandeka.
Hi.
Uyathandeka njengegama lakho.
Ngiyabonga.
I think you mentioned something for me which quite resonates with my value system, which is empowering other women. So there's often this idea that women can't work together. So you've then taken an intentional step to work with women only. And it's quite a risky thing. How do you dismantle that in the eyes of patriarchy that says women have a pull-down syndrome, women cannot work together? But you've decided that you want to build a whole empire and a legacy built by women.
You know, it's quite important that when you are doing something, you need to lead by example. First of all, I felt that, you know what, it is difficult to work with women because there's always issue after issue. Like, sometimes we're dealing with issues that have nothing to do with work on site. But I felt that, you know what, I need to lead by example. No matter how hard it gets, I will take it on. And, you know, sometimes even the men will say, oh, so are you trying to say that you won't work with us because we're men? I said, no. I have nothing against men. But I'm saying that I'm taking a stand because, you know, for generations and for such a long time, we've been so marginalized. Someone needs to take a stand. And I'm very unapologetic about it. And everyone knows that, you know what, I'm pro-women. I want to see women growing because, you know what, we are 10 steps behind than our male counterparts, unfortunately. So we need to sort of try and make sure that we create ways where we can fast forward, you know, things for females. So whatever you do or whatever industry you're in, try and make sure that you don't forget about your sisters and try and make sure that you integrate them somehow, you know, even in the smallest way you can assist. It doesn't take anything away from you. I mean, even with what we do, it's not only people that are in construction that we're assisting. I mean, our database, we've got people in marketing and different fields. So our procurement from office supplies to right to your building material supplies, it's female-owned entities that we utilize. But what I've realized that we don't have enough women, you know, in these industries. Like for instance, with building material supplies, we don't have females. And I'm always crying about that. I'm like, guys, no, we need to find females that are supplying building material because we want to support them. And the only way we able to support others is by intentionally doing something about it. I don't care if someone else prefers to do things their own way, but you know, as long as I'm alive and as long as I'm running Mbokodo, I want to do things in that way because I'm very intentional about it.
Hi, Sister Thandeka.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. So amongst many women in this room, I love you so much.
Thank you.
I follow your work and I'm just inspired by everything you do. I follow everything that you do and I'm also inspired by the projects and the good work you've been doing with the likes of Mr. Emmanuel Bonoko. I draw inspiration from such entrepreneurs and which somehow leveled me up to then take a stand and say, I also want to venture into entrepreneurship, you know, utilize the skills that I have in a way to can open a business and see a business opportunity, you know. So I don't necessarily have a question for you. I have a request. As a woman who defied all odds, like you always say, as a woman who defied all odds to taking your construction company to where it is now, despite you not studying construction and you not, you know, knowing everything about the industry, I would please request from you a mentorship in that manner? Or how do you go about, being dominant in the industry you're not even experienced in, if I can put it like that? I don't know if you get my point.
I totally get your point,
Yes.
and I would be delighted to.
Thank you so much.
No other questions? Are you serious? She's serious. I didn't see the whole game. No. Okay, I think that's all. Do you want one last remark and then we wrap it up? Okay.
Hi, Thandeka, it's me again.
Yes.
So I heard you talk about your network, and every speaker is always talking about your network. That is, it is important to be networking because now it's equal to your net worth. Great. That is good on paper. That is good on speech. But the moment we start approaching those people that we know that are supposed to be our network, these people are busy. So how do we actually get into that? How do we connect with them? Because I can imagine you running a 7GB construction company. You're not sitting there waiting for Pepe to knock at like 10 a.m. and like ask you questions and stuff. How do we then get into this networking business?
You know what? I hear your point, and it's a very valid one. Because when I think about myself, way back then, I don't want to name names, but there was a female that I really looked up to, and I met her at some event, and I was busy telling her how much I look up to her. I want to do this and that, and the response that I got was not such a great one, and we learn from such situations that I don't want to be that person, like even when I give you my contacts and whatever, we have a chat that, please don't take it badly. If I take forever to respond. Don't think I'm ignoring you, because sometimes it does get overwhelming. It does become very difficult. But it's all about chatting to the next person and having them understand that, it's not me thinking, I'm better or I've got better things to do. But let's respect each other also. It must be both ways, You can't be calling me at 10 at night, like, always on my case every day, You need to also, we need to do things in a respectful manner both ways, Sometimes, there's people that would turn you off from giving away your numbers because it gets a bit too much, to the point where it's like, oh gosh, what was I doing, But it's all about having a quick chat and discussing how are we going to connect. I try and make time whenever I can, like for someone. And sometimes I say you don't need to physically meet someone to get information. Quick WhatsApp chat, hey, Thandeka, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got this issue. Then I can respond to you and say, okay, do this and do that. I mean, there's so many other people I mentor through DM. And I've been, there's a lady from Limpopo. In fact, I've been chatting to her for months and months. I'll only get to meet her soon because she's done so incredibly well with the company. It has grown so much through, I've been mentoring her, honestly, through DM. And she's managed to take the advice that I've been giving her. And she's grown, her business. She wasn't negative to say, I know this one, she doesn't want to meet me. And I was very straightforward to say, honestly, now, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't even know, what to do first. And, it gets a bit too much. You've got family, you've got kids. There's a lot, especially as a woman. We've got a lot going on besides work, I'm willing to give you my numbers, and yeah, we can have a chat.
One more round of applause for the incredible, sensational, inspirational, motivational Thandeka. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you so much. So before you leave, I'm just going to ask our photographer to take a nice photo of you. And while they're doing that, I'm going to ask for our exhibitors to please join us on stage. So you've probably seen that there's some exhibitors outside. selling, doing nice things. Can they please come inside and tell us a bit more about their businesses in 1 minute? So let's get our exhibitors to come through, and then our Thandeka can take her picture.
Oh, by the way, sorry, just one last quick one. Bulelani, what you are doing is so incredible. You know, back then we did not have opportunities like these. And this is like, it's so amazing what you're doing, because it does not help Uti. There's always, such platforms, and people are not reachable, and Bale, Masentin, and everywhere else. I love the fact that you're bringing this to the township. You know, I've got townships are very close to my heart. I grew up there, in Ngzalelwe Khona. And what you're doing is incredible. May it grow from strength to strength, and we will try and assist wherever we can. We will try, and we will be there to support. I will drag my friends that are in business to come and support this